Good morning. It's Sunday, November 8th, and thanks for waking up with us today. I'm Spencer Soicher. Yeah, Mallory, we've been hearing it for months now, how important the state of Michigan may be for the presidential election, and it's becoming very clear this morning how true that is. Here on Columbia Street, it's a different story. I want to show you some of the damage that's going on over here. We got one massive tree that split at the trunk. President Trump back in the mitten last night, telling the people of Michigan to vote for him, while also taking quite a few jabs at Governor Gretchen Whitmer. And I can't wait to show you this toddler in just a moment. He's an internet sensation, and it's because he's the greatest thing that's ever happened to the game of ping pong. Take a look at this tiny toddler and his table tennis talents. The plan is to add a College Drive exit between Essen and the I-10, I-12 merge. It would fly over I-12 and into College Drive. They would also get rid of the current College Drive exit and add a new exit for I-12 and College Drive, hoping to get rid of all of that lane shifting at the merge. Is getting tested for COVID-19 too often backlogging a system? Take a look at this line. I'm Spencer Soicher, and I'll have more on this coming up in just a few minutes. I'm here with the GM, Jordan Guyton. And Jordan, what went into this decision to open today? Who makes this decision? Tucker joked during his press conference that he was making $400 as a grad assistant, quote, sleeping under his desk. His new salary at MSU has him set to make $5.5 million. So just a hunch, he's probably not sleeping under his desk anymore. It is National Cappuccino Day, or as some of us call it, a regular Sunday morning. But Governor Whitmer is concerned about President Trump's visit to Michigan because she says we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Now again, our numbers are different than the numbers that the president has been putting out, and we want to make sure that you're getting the most up-to-date information. Right now, NBC News has President Trump leading by 225,000 votes, with 77% of the precincts in Michigan reporting. Live at the Capitol, I'm Spencer Soicher for News 10. Good morning and welcome to Fox 47 Morning News. I'm Spencer Soicher.
And I'm meteorologist Claire Cameron.
Julie has the morning off because it's her birthday weekend, and I'm a little bit jealous of her, Claire, because it sounds like she's going to have some great weather for her birthday.
I mean,
record turnout and a whole lot of waiting later, Joe Biden is now the projected winner and president-elect. That news sparking a wave of celebrations and protests across the country. NBC's Jay Gray has a closer look now from Washington. Now, while those celebrations were happening for Joe Biden, people on the other side, some of them were protesting, claiming the election was stolen. When President-elect Joe Biden moves into the White House, the new commanders and treats are coming with him. The first family elects, of course, include the furry friends. Biden and his wife have two German shepherds named Major and Champ. Major is going to be the first rescue dog in the Oval Office. The Bidens fostered him in 2018 before adopting him. The last two pets in the White House were the Obama family's Portuguese water dogs, Bo and Sunny. Let's go ahead and get one more check of the weather with Claire right now. And I can't wait to show you this toddler in just a moment. He's an internet sensation, and it's because he's the greatest thing that's ever happened to the game of ping pong. Take a look at this tiny toddler and his table tennis talents. The ping pong phenom, who lives in southwestern China, is only 3 years old, but look at him go. According to his family, the boy has been practicing since he was an infant somehow, and he's had help. His grandma is a former professional table tennis player and has served as his trainer. The family says the child is already a fierce competitor, and he's amassed a social media fan base of more than 50,000 followers. But none of that matters to this paddling prodigy. He's too busy bouncing that ball.
Unreal.
In just a few moments, Joe Biden, what are his plans in the next 100 days? And Maya Rudolph and Jim Carrey in fine form last night. If you missed SNL Election Style, we have the details next. Champagne, it was flying off the shelves in the nation's capital on Saturday. Liquor stores across Washington, D.C. reported a spike in champagne sales after it was announced that Joe Biden would become the president-elect. Newsweek says multiple liquor store owners claim they had sold more champagne in the 12 hours of celebrations and maybe disappointment than during the two previous New Year's Eves combined. COVID-19 continues to change the way we live and how we celebrate. But one yearly staple you can always count on, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It is National Cappuccino Day, or as some of us call it, a regular Sunday morning. Some fun facts about the cappuccino: the top layer of the foam is where you usually find these strong flavors that give it a special taste. But the Democratic ticket may not be in the clear just yet. President Donald Trump says he's not conceding. This morning, Trump campaign lawyers will go to court challenging the election results, this time in Arizona. The president also has several pending court battles in Pennsylvania, which ultimately helped secure the White House for President-elect Joe Biden. The Trump campaign has already suffered court losses in Michigan and Georgia. Some Republicans say the president shouldn't give up just yet, but others are concerned about the world's reaction to the president's claims. All right, Caleb, thank you. Well, did you get a chance to see Saturday Night Live last night? Dave Chappelle was the host with musical guest The Foo Fighters. And hot off their characters' election night win, Maya Rudolph and Jim Carrey were in fine form. Take a listen. Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning. We'll see you tomorrow morning on News 10 Today. Have a great day, everybody. Yeah, Mallory, I wish I could vote in Wheatfield Township, and not because of anyone that's on the ballot, but rather because of someone who will be at the polls today.
Hear ye, hear ye, the polls are now open.
96-year-old Violet Lentz is getting in some practice.
Hear ye, the polls are now open.
She probably doesn't need the practice. She's been opening the polls the same way here for more than 70 years.
That's a rural area, and all the people are so friendly, and they just get to know everybody.
A little more than 7 miles from both Mason and Holt is the appropriately named Wheatfield Township. Population about 1,600. What percentage of the people that come in here do you think know who you are?
Probably 100%.
People do come in to see her on Election Day.
She does more than just supervise the election in Holler. She's a farmer and a bowler.
I used to hold an average of 168.
Violet is a legend in this town. It probably doesn't hurt that she gives out candy at the polls, too.
I think some of them come just for the candy.
For many people in this area, Election Day is a social event as much as a civic event. When people come to vote, seeing Violet is as much a part of them exercising their duty to vote and their right to vote as it is anything else.
In just a little bit, she'll let out that famous call that brings people here to vote.
I watch and just make sure that it's right at 7 o'clock, and then I push the doors open and I holler, hear ye, the polls are now open.
Violet says one of her favorite parts of Election Day is the potluck that she has with the clerk. She likes to make a hot dish in her crock pot. Live at the polls this morning, I'm Spencer Soicher for News 10.
Mama! Mama!
It started as a peaceful protest yesterday morning.
Have you noticed our kids are dying every day, B?
Protesters spent the day voicing their concern. Local law enforcement even retaking their oaths.
Pledging to hold ourselves, our co-workers, and all law enforcement to this standard.
But soon those protesters left. The sun began to fade and it became a full-blown riot. A car in the middle of downtown set on fire. The downtown Chase Bank smashed, glass everywhere. Rioters taking things out on downtown Lansing, leaving damage that looks like a disaster rolled through town. Crowds were sprayed with tear gas by police, rioters throwing things back at police. A chaotic night in Lansing that leaves so much damage and an eyesore on the capital city.
He's been busy. You see here? So something's been in here that shouldn't. And I think
it is?
Chipmunks, they're driving me crazy.
America's angry mayor is irate. Right now, it's at the chipmunks in his garden, but could former Lansing Mayor Verge Bernero leave his tomatoes and kale to be the angry mayor of Lansing again?
I won't be able to do 180. I'll have to only do 120 because I'm not giving up my garden.
When Bernero didn't seek a fourth mayoral term 3 years ago, that was it. He didn't plan on coming back.
I would say it's still 50-50. I mean, maybe it's 55-45 toward running. I did not think I would be in this position when I stepped back.
Bernero took some time off with family. He said goodbye to his dad just a few weeks ago. But people have been calling him. He says they want him back at City Hall. He hasn't always agreed with what fellow Democratic Mayor Andy Shore has done, including during the violent protests on May 31st.
I wanted to go down there, and my wife said, you're not going down there. She said, you're not the mayor. Would I have used tear gas, for example? I don't know. I wasn't there. But I'll tell you one thing. I would have been down there, okay? I would have been on the scene, and not from a window, not from a distance, but from the 9th floor office.
He's also frustrated with the way many of his former staffers of color, like City Services Director Joan Jackson Johnson, have been treated by the mayor's office.
What happened to Martell Armstrong, the Housing Commission Director, was obscene. What happened to Telefaro, outrageous. Joan, the worst of all. Just unbelievable.
So what would it take for the angry mayor to come back?
Believe it or not, Spencer, it's not a political calculation. It's a gut check. It's a personal feeling. It's a family decision. And just a decision about am I needed?
Pernero told me that he plans to decide what he's going to do by the end of 2020. In the meantime, he'll continue to work as the executive director of a manufacturing council.